Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy M.K.S again. I really got to think of a better intro, haven't I? But anyway, unfortunately, for anyone who saw my video I made last night, I didn't go to sleep till like 3 in the morning. Too much caffeine, I think, sorry. But so I haven't managed to wake up till like 11 in the morning. It's a nightmare. I was absolutely knackered in the morning. That's the problem. I could go sleep late and then I wake up late. And I hope I won't make this video too long because I don't want to waffle and bore you, but also I've got to take the dog for a walk. So I'm going to finish my tea and then take the dog for a walk. So this might not be a very long video, but all being well anyway. But yeah, I just want to talk about this idea of mine. I think I was going to call it Malaysia, India, Indonesia, and Singapore, but then I decided to change the title a bit. But for a network between those 4 countries as well as the rest of Asia, and I was thinking it could be like a group, like a bit like ASEAN or BRICS, between those 4 countries. And I've talked about it before, like how I like patterns. And because my initials are M.K.S, the first letter of the first initial, or the initial of the first and last, my first name and my surname, sorry, I'll get there eventually, hopefully, are M and S. That's why I've done it in that order: Malaysia, India, Indonesia, and Singapore. Indonesia and India could be swapped. But anyway, sorry, I'm not boring with that detail, but so yeah, one of my dreams is to network these 4 countries, and partly at least is because those 4 countries have relatively large. I suppose there are other countries like the Philippines, possibly even Hong Kong, and 1 or 2 others, which I think Vietnam also has. But unfortunately, the Amerasians, which were the American military children, were not with Vietnamese mums, were not treated very well because of the war and all that. But anyway, these are 4 countries that have large Eurasian associations. So that's one of the reasons why I wish to support them, because Malaysia, Indonesia, I think, to an extent, and certainly Singapore, and also India with the Anglo-Indians, although many have left. But they still have, I think all 4 of those countries actually still have large Eurasian associations, including Anglo-Indians as part of that, like the Indos in Indonesia, but Malaysians, I can't remember what they're called, Kristangs or something like that, who are part Portuguese, the Anglo-Indians like myself in India, and the Indos from Indonesia, and I think they're also called Kristang from Singapore. I can't quite remember. But so anyway, I specifically hope to help all of those I hope to help all 4 of those countries and all people from all backgrounds. But I specifically hope to help the Eurasians within those countries, as well as dyslexic people, which I try to do on Facebook, like share with them motivational videos and things like that. So I hope they can be empowered. As I say, from all 4 of those countries. And Singapore was actually founded by someone who was the first Prime Minister, I think he's even classed as a founder, was actually dyslexic as well. Lee Kuan, I think his name was. Coincidentally, I talked a little bit as well in the past about how in China they see dyslexia as mental retardation. I mean, in the UK, retard would be quite an offensive term, generally speaking, a non-PC term. But basically, they see dyslexic people as mentally ill, which is probably not always true. Sometimes dyslexic people can be mentally ill as well, but I think most dyslexic people are not mentally ill. But dyslexia itself is not a mental illness; it's a learning disability. But we also have many strengths. But anyway, I think many people in China probably wouldn't know that. I think a lot of their reforms, if I'm not mistaken, were made by Lee Kuan, who also helped strengthen the relation between Singapore and China. And I think he's of Chinese descent, but he did a lot of great things, as far as I'm aware, for Singapore and for China as well in their reforms for economic empowerment and growth. So I'm just sipping my tea because I want to finish that before I take it off. But yeah, so I hope, and another thing on that note, I hope to improve animal rights within Asia as well. So I hope to make general Asian networks, but in this specific case, I hope to focus on those 4 countries, and not just Eurasians or dyslexics, but I do hope to help Eurasian associations and network with them, subscribe to their YouTube channels and support their YouTube videos, and support them in all other possible ways and empower them, as well as dyslexic people in those countries as well. And Singapore has a strong dyslexia association, so I think they do some excellent work as far as I'm aware. DAS, which stands for Dyslexia Association of Singapore. And India made them the movie, film, whatever you want to call it, Tara Zameen Par, which means, I hope I pronounce it right. I know I'm half Indian, but I never learned any of the languages. But anyway, Tara Zameen Par, which means like stars on earth in English, and it's about a dyslexic student who. I think it's a film worth watching if you only speak English. It's good to get a subtitle version, obviously, but it's about a dyslexic lad struggling in an Indian school system. But anyway, I don't want to tell you too much, because in case you do want to watch the movie, but I think it's really good. It's quite a tear-jerking film, but it's got some negatives but some positives. But I think it's a really good film. I think I'd give it about probably 7 or even 8 out of 10. Anyway, sorry. So I'd love them to make more movies and films about dyslexia, perhaps raise more awareness in those countries and show about the dyslexic entrepreneurs, positive stats about dyslexia, things like that. But I also hope to network the countries generally, support all their citizens, both male and female, able, disabled, and every other background, especially poor people. But I hope to also help them to trade together, work together politically, and make peace with each other, and just generally support each other as much as they can. As I chose those 4 countries partly because of patterns, but also partly because of the fact that they have strong Eurasian links with the Portuguese colonization of probably all 4 of those. No, I think I'm not sure about the Indonesians. I think they were more Dutch influence, but there's a lot of Portuguese influence in the other countries, and in the case of India, also British. Not sure about Singapore, if they had a British influence as well. But anyway, so I hope to support particularly the Eurasian associations in those countries, and network with each other, perhaps help them to network with each other, subscribe to each other's channels and support each other just as much as possible, support each other's YouTube channels, each other's art projects, and all sorts of things like that, all sorts of projects. So I really hope I can maybe share this video and encourage people to sort of find a way to put this into practice, and like also they can share each other's 5 to 10 year plans, and encourage each other to reach their goals, and share their dreams, share their goals with each other, and just generally network together politically and in business, trade, and all that. Again, I hope to improve human rights in those countries, animal rights, more freedoms, possibly libertarianism, but also helping each other to trade with each other and empower each other, encourage each other to believe in each other and things like that. I'm probably running out of things to say now, but so anyway, as ever, I'd love to know what you think about this idea, especially if you're from any of these countries. Like, would you love to write to ministers in your country and politicians, basically, and to try and encourage this idea, and maybe trade, come together as well, and say, this is a great idea. Hopefully it's a great idea, and we can trade with each other, and it could become like ASEAN or the BRICS, or maybe even stronger. You never know. I don't know how well ASEAN or the BRICS have helped their countries, but hopefully they've helped each other with trade. Also hope they'll make a lot of peace together. I'd love to see more peace in Asia, Pan-Asianism generally, but this would be a specific part of that. And there could be similar ones for, as I say, the Philippines, which also has many Eurasians, I think, and China, Japan. I mean, they don't have many Eurasians, but they have a few across different Asian countries. But Asian nation, and also as an anti-imperialist, I dream to support them as well. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a great day out there. But if you think this idea is a poor idea, I'd love to know why you think that, and why you think if you don't think it's workable, or you don't think it could help, or whatever. I'd love to know why. Like four countries coming together and ensuring that they sign peace pledges with each other. I know those can easily be broken, but if the citizens in those countries get along and say, we don't want any, we want to unite, We don't want any division between us. We want to unite. So, and then that could encourage other Asian nations, especially if it does well, hopefully, which I hope it does, obviously, within the next 5 or 10 years. Other Asian nations would probably say, look how well they've done by uniting together and working together towards shared goals and dreams and whatnot, towards shared aims, and they've worked together on each other's supporting each other to achieve their 5-10 year plans, and they've done trade negotiations, and their businesses have helped each other grow, and things like supporting each other's YouTube channels, art projects, and all sorts of things like that. So again, I'd love to hear from people from Malaysia, India, Indonesia, and Singapore, especially, and also possibly from other Asian nations, and or also just generally anyone who wishes to comment is always welcome to comment. As I often say, I hope it won't be too rude, but I suppose I've got to take it on the chin if it is. Anyway, yeah, if you made it this far, I really appreciate it, as I often say. Thanks for enjoying my waffle. And I just woke up and I thought I'd make this YouTube video. With this idea, I also hope to work on, I might make a few more like this if I can, and also a Chindian network, which I've talked about. I hope to do a video on that. But another thing, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I did a little bit of my paperwork yesterday, but very little. I've really got to try and sort my paperwork, because someone's going to come to my house. They're doing all the radiators, changing all the radiators, and my holding problem is a bit, if I'm honest, it's something I've got to try and deal with. But yeah, anyway, I was going to try and mention more points, but I don't know if I've got any more points to mention at the moment. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you think about it. Maybe I'll do another one with one of my 30-point lists. But if you prefer to watch videos like this, then obviously you can always ignore those ones and just watch this one. Peace and love.